Right now, in the room where you are sitting, the air is not empty. It is a thick, swirling ocean of invisible data. Millions of whispers are passing through your body at the speed of light. Encrypted emails, private phone calls, military radar pings, and satellite coordinates are all crisscrossing the sky. To a normal person, this is just silence. But to a SIGINT elite, this is the most crowded battlefield on Earth. Welcome to the world of signals intelligence. In the hierarchy of modern warfare, the soldier with the rifle is the hand, but you are the ear. You don't hide in trenches, you hide in the frequencies. You are a ghost who lives in the electromagnetic spectrum. Your mission is simple but terrifying. You must hear what the enemy thinks is a secret. You must find the needle of a commander's order in a haystack of 1 billion civilian text messages. Before a single tank moves or a single jet takes off, a signal is sent. If you can intercept that signal, the war is over before it begins. You are the one who tells the general where the ambush is waiting. You are the one who hears the countdown of a missile launch from 300 miles away. You are the early warning that keeps a nation alive. But this power comes with a price. To be a member of the SIGINT elite, you must learn to live in a world of static. You must train your brain to see patterns in white noise and logic in chaos. You are about to start a journey that begins with a simple handheld radio in a muddy field and ends in a black room where you use the power of physics to break the world's most secure codes. In this world, information isn't just data, it is the only true weapon, and the one who hears the most wins everything. You aren't sitting in a comfortable office yet. You are at the edge of the world. You are in a muddy trench, a humid jungle, or a freezing mountain pass. You are carrying 20 pounds of batteries, a folding antenna, and a ruggedized receiver. You are a radio interceptor, and in the hierarchy of SIGINT, you are the ground listener. Welcome to Level 1, the tactical ear. At this level, your job is simple but dangerous. You are the first response for intelligence. While the infantry is looking through their rifle scopes, you are looking through the frequencies. You are hunting for tactical radio chatter, the short coded speech used by enemy squad leaders. You spend 12 hours a day with your headphones clamped to your ears, slowly turning a dial, listening for the pop of a signal in a sea of static. You are a master of signal recognition. You can tell the difference between a thunderstorm's interference and an enemy scout's encrypted squawk just by the texture of the sound. You aren't just listening, you are direction finding. You use your antenna to triangulate the signal. If the enemy speaks for more than 3 seconds, you can tell your commander exactly which hill they're hiding on. The pressure is physical. If you miss a single warning order, your team walks into an ambush. You live in a constant state of audio alert. You learn to ignore the hunger, the cold, and the sound of distant gunfire. Your only reality is the flickering green line on your signal analyzer. You are the human sensor that turns the fog of war into a map of targets. The reward for a successful interceptor is survival. You saved your platoon today because you heard a voice that shouldn't have been there. You have proven that you can find a signal in a storm. But you are starting to realize that speech is just a small part of the story. There is a much bigger world of data pulsing above your head, data that isn't spoken but sent. You are ready to stop chasing voices and start chasing systems. You are ready to move from the mud to the data room. You've stepped out of the mud and into a command tent filled with humming servers and glowing topographic maps. You still have the headphones around your neck, but you aren't just listening for words anymore. You have graduated to the level of traffic analyst. In the hierarchy of SIGINT, you are the pattern finder. Welcome to Level 2, the logic of the noise. At this level, you don't even need to understand the language the enemy is speaking. You are looking at the metadata, the who, when, and where of the signal.
You are watching a digital waterfall of radio bursts on your screen. You aren't a listener, you are a mathematician of war. You are looking for the pulse of an army. You are a master of network mapping. You notice that every morning at 0400, 3 specific radio towers in the valley exchange a 10-second encrypted burst. Then, at 0415, a dozen smaller units check in. This is the heartbeat of a command structure. You aren't breaking their codes, you are mapping their spine. You know who is the boss and who is the messenger just by how many times their signal pings the network. The pressure is intellectual. You are looking for the silence. If a high-level command network that usually handles 500 messages an hour suddenly goes dark, your heart skips a beat. Radio silence doesn't mean they stopped talking. It means they are moving. It means an attack is exactly 60 minutes away. You are the one who picks up the red phone and tells the general, they aren't there anymore. They're coming here. The reward for a successful analyst is the God view. You see the battlefield as a glowing web of connections. You can predict a retreat before a single soldier turns around. You can see a supply shortage before the enemy's tanks run out of fuel. You have turned static into a story. But you are staring at a wall you cannot climb. You see the encrypted blocks on your screen, the messages you can track but cannot read. You know who sent them, but you don't know what they said. You are ready to stop watching the shape of the message and start tearing it open.
You are no longer just looking at pulses on a screen or tracking the shape of a network. You have been brought into a soundproof, high-security vault. You are wearing a headset that costs more than a car, and you are staring at a scrolling wall of foreign text and broken code. You are a cryptologic linguist, and in the hierarchy of SIGINT, you are the translator. Welcome to Level 3, the human key. At this level, your weapon is your brain. You aren't just a translator who knows a second language. You are a specialist in tactical slang and dialects. You are listening to live audio from an enemy strike team moving through a city. They aren't using official military terms. They are using code words, street slang, and in-group jokes to hide their meaning. Your job is to crack their intent in real time. You are a master of contextual decryption. You hear a voice say, "The package is at the blue door," and you immediately know that package means a high-value target, and blue door is a specific coordinate you mapped 10 minutes ago. You are the bridge between the raw noise of the battlefield and the actionable intelligence of the command center. The pressure is emotional. You are listening to the human side of the enemy. You hear them talk about their families, their fear, and their exhaustion. But then you hear them receive the order. You are the one who has to stay cold. You translate the order, you relay the location, and you watch as a cyan blue marker on your screen is erased by a strike. You are the ghost who hears the last words of men who don't even know you exist. The reward for a successful linguist is the truth. You are the only person in the room who truly understands what the enemy is thinking. You aren't guessing, you are knowing. You have the power to stop a massacre or start a revolution just by how you interpret a single sentence. But you're starting to hit a wall. More and more of the data you intercept isn't voice anymore, it's digital. It's encrypted packets that are arriving from space, millions of them every second. You are ready to stop listening to people and start harvesting the sky. You have left the tactical tents and the soundproof vaults behind. You are now standing in a climate-controlled data farm the size of 3 football fields. The air is cold, and the only sound is the roar of 10,000 cooling fans. You aren't listening to a single radio or a single strike team anymore. You are listening to the planet.
You are a satellite harvester, and in the hierarchy of SIGINT, you are the global ear. Welcome to Level 4, the high ground. At this level, your antennas are orbiting 22,000 miles above your head. You are part of a network that intercepts downlinks, massive beams of data traveling from satellites to ground stations. You are harvesting the internet in the sky. You aren't looking for one conversation. You are swallowing petabytes of data every hour. Your job is mass filtering. You use powerful algorithms to scan millions of emails, text messages, and satellite phone calls for trigger words and digital signatures. You are a master of big data, SIGINT. You aren't a listener, you are a miner. You are looking for the digital fingerprint of a terrorist cell or a rogue state's nuclear program. You use a system that maps the entire world's communication in real time. You see a flash of encrypted data in a remote desert, and within seconds, your satellites are repositioning to zoom in on the exact puck or dish that sent it. The pressure is overwhelming. You are looking at the secrets of the world. You see the bank transfers of billionaires, the private messages of world leaders, and the blueprints of experimental weapons. You have the power to drown in the noise. You must remain cold and clinical. You aren't a person. You are a sieve. You are the one who finds the one satellite ping that proves a hidden missile silo is being fueled. The reward for a successful harvester is total sight. You see the world as a glowing map of connections. You can track a target across 3 continents without ever leaving your chair. You have the high ground in every conflict. But you're starting to notice something strange. There are holes in your map, places where your satellites see static instead of data. These aren't communication dead zones. These are electronic masks. You are ready to stop looking at what people say and start looking at the pulse of the machines themselves. You have stopped listening to people. You have realized that in a world of high-tech war, the most important secrets aren't spoken in words, they're screamed in radiation. You are no longer a linguist or a harvester. You are an electronic intelligence specialist, or ELINT, and in the hierarchy of SIGINT, you are the radar hunter. Welcome to Level 5, the physics of the predator. At this level, you are hunting the heartbeat of machines. Every surface-to-air missile battery, every stealth fighter, and every naval destroyer has a digital soul made of electromagnetic pulses. Your job is to capture these pulses and profile them. You are looking at the pulse repetition frequency, or PRF, and the scan rate of an enemy's radar. You aren't hearing a conversation, you are seeing the eyes of the enemy as they scan the sky for your jets. You are a master of electronic order of battle, or EOB. You can sit in a specialized RC-135 rivet joint aircraft, flying miles away from a border, and map out every single defensive position in a country just by the electronic hum they emit. You know exactly what kind of missile is waiting on a hilltop because you recognize the unique squeal of its tracking radar. You are the one who provides the library of threats to every pilot in the Air Force. The pressure is technological. You are playing a game of cat and mouse with the world's most advanced sensors. If the enemy changes their radar frequency by even a few megahertz, your library becomes useless and your pilots are flying blind. You are in a constant race to update the signature. You are the one who tells the electronic warfare teams how to jam the signal, how to throw a digital blanket over the enemy's eyes so your team can move through the dark. The reward for a successful specialist is invisibility. You are the reason a billion-dollar stealth bomber remains a ghost on the screen. You have mastered the physics of war. But you are looking at the encryption on the modern battlefield. The signals are becoming too complex, too fast, and too random for even the most powerful supercomputers to crack in time. You are ready to leave the radio waves behind and enter the world of particles. You are ready to break the unbreakable.
You have left the world of radio towers and satellites behind. You are now descending into a sub-zero laboratory buried deep beneath a mountain. The air here is perfectly still, and the only sound is the rhythmic chirp of a dilution refrigerator cooling a processor to a temperature colder than outer space. You are a quantum decryption master, and in the hierarchy of SIGINT, you are the code breaker. Welcome to Level 6, the end of secrets. At this level, you are no longer fighting with algorithms, you are fighting with physics. For decades, the world's most sensitive secrets, nuclear launch codes, bank ledgers, and intelligence reports have been protected by RSA and AES encryption. To a normal supercomputer, these codes would take 1 billion years to crack, but to your quantum processor, they are as thin as wet paper. You are a master of Shor's algorithm. You are the one who can factor the massive prime numbers that hold the digital world together. You aren't just reading a message, you are collapsing the wave function of the enemy's security. You are the ghost in the machine who can see into the vaults of every central bank and every ministry of defense on the planet. The pressure is existential. You are holding a digital nuke. If the world finds out you have cracked 256-bit encryption, the global economy would collapse in a single afternoon. You must use your power with surgical precision. You are the one who reads the Prime Minister's secure briefing before the Prime Minister even wakes up. You see the betrayals before they happen. You see the alliances before they are signed. The reward for a successful master is total sovereignty. You are the only person who truly knows what is happening behind the curtain of the world. You have reached the peak of the SIGINT elite. You have mastered the silence, but you are looking at the price of your knowledge. You live in a world where you trust nothing, no screen, no cable, no voice. You are the king of a world that is made of lies. You are ready to step out of the glow and into the quiet.